We are here with singer and songwriter Sunny Malouf. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, we're so excited to get to talk about your latest single, Disposable. So tell me about your new song.
So first of all, Disposable is a song that I wrote the ending of 2019 to clarify, but I re-recorded it this year and released it this year, as you guys can see. But I wrote Disposable about a real life situation that had happened to me that had never happened to me before. A little bit of a background. I never was really like the relationship type or talked to boys a lot. Like I always did my work, went home, was with my family. And my dad's really strict, so I was never really around boys like that. So when I met this guy, summer of 2019, I started to have a connection with him. We started to hang out and I became really attached to him because, like I said, I never had that type of feeling with a guy before. So of course I was like, wow, this is great. And so I, like I said, had, really great moments with him and we did a lot of fun things. And so I started to trust him more and more. And he ended up choosing another girl. And it left me heartbroken because I didn't think that something like that would happen to me. And especially so quickly. So I, was left confused, heartbroken, all these different things. So I vented, and like I do, I write songs, either if they're released or not. And it happened to become Disposable. And that's how Disposable was created.
So it sounds like this song came about almost organically from real life experiences. I did see on your social media, you admitted that the song was about Josh Richards, and that was extremely brave to come out and say, this is my story and this is what the song is about. Walk me through the process of being honest with your fans about who the experience was about and publishing the song.
First of all, I knew when I wrote the song in 2019, I thought that I was going to release a song back then, but things happened, COVID slowed a couple things down. So I ended up re-recording it and then releasing it this year. So when I released it this year, I was promoting it. And then as I was promoting, I had this interview I had to release. And it was basically me explaining the meaning behind Disposable and how I wrote it and all of this. So I released the video. And I guess people started to become more concerned and trying to figure out who I wrote the song about.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of guesses. And he was guest in my comment section on TikTok. So I was like, it is my story at this point. I'm not throwing shade at him. Me and him are cool. Like, I'm cool with everybody. I don't have drama with anyone. And so I was just like, what? It's my story. Why not just say who it is? Like, I write about people all the time and I always say who it is. There's no hard feelings. So I just released who it was. And, it was kind of hard for me because I didn't want people to come at me and think that, like, I was trying to start something that happened last year. That's not what I was doing. I was just explaining my story and trying to let people know more about who I am and what I've been through. And I thought that maybe it would be a better way to communicate with, my supporters and stuff. But,
Yeah, well, I definitely think I understand that in telling that to your fans, it kind of gives them a better understanding to appreciate the song, what the lyrics are about, and what the meaning is behind the music.
Yeah, exactly.
And the song has been incredibly successful. It was released just this week, and it's already made it onto Apple Music's New and Pop playlist. How are you feeling about this success?
That is so surreal because I always, like I said, believe in myself and make sure that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to, get to where I'm supposed to. But at this point, like when things that happen like that, it's just like, wow, that's awesome. That's really cool. I'm very thankful for my team and everyone that helped me too. That's incredible.
And beyond this song, do you have any plans to release any other new music in this upcoming year?
Yeah, I have a couple new songs and I'm getting ready to release. It's just a matter of time and then, just a matter of, when my team and when, things are falling into place, but definitely very soon. And when I say soon, I mean like a couple of weeks.
Speaking of the people on your team and the people in your corner, Floyd Mayweather is a mentor to you. So walk me through how he became involved in your journey and how he's guided you.
I get that question a lot. Floyd, basically, I met him when I was probably 10 years old, so about 6 years ago, almost 7 years ago. He has basically turned into a mentor type. I look at him as like someone that I can always count on. And, there's very few people in this industry that you can really trust. And I have problems with trusting people because everyone's out for themselves and no one really cares about one another. So he's definitely probably the only person in the whole entire industry that I completely trust, and he's like family to me. He's always there and he always looks out for me and just does whatever he can to help me, and that's what I call family, and he has my back and I have his. So
Well, aside from making music, you also used to make content with Jake Paul and Team 10. So tell me, what was that experience like?
it was great. That was a really fun time in my life because I had just actually, my mom had put me back in school, and then, all the kids they were always talking about Team 10 and Jake Paul. So my mom took me back out of school, and right after she took me back out of school, they stayed at my house because they were helping with the hurricane that had happened in Houston at the time. Yeah. And they were staying in Dallas and ended up staying at my house because they needed to upload or whatever for their YouTube channel. Became close to them, got on Team 10, went on tour, got really close to Jake, and it was a really great time. I had the time of my life. I mean, you can only imagine as a kid.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun,
And do you still keep in touch with any of the members from Team 10?
Yeah, I do all the time, but everyone's busy and everyone has their own separate life, but I try to keep in touch with them as best as possible, check on them.
And now you make lots of content on TikTok. How did you get started on the app?
So originally, I really wasn't into the whole TikTok idea because I wanted to make sure that as an artist, I was developed into the mainstream properly, and I don't want people to look at me as some TikToker or whatever. No shade to them. I think they're so genius and so cool. Yeah. But like, that's not who I am or what I wanted to do. But as I started getting into the TikTok world and researching it and seeing how successful how it was in the platform, I was like, I would be so stupid not to get into it. So, I got into it. I tried a few things out, tried to see what worked for me and what didn't. And I guess dancing really set off my TikTok for me personally. And that's what they like about me when I dance on the street and stuff.
Well, I do always see your TikTok dancing videos, and you collaborate a lot with different content creators. Malcolm Suarez being one of them. You guys are always collaborating together on TikTok, and the fans are always speculating if you two are an item. Are you an item? Are you best friends? How would you label your duo?
No, he's a really cool guy. Like I said before, coming into the business, I don't really hang around like a lot of people, and he is one of like the only ones that I really trust and hang around as well. And he's so down to earth, and I think that like just surrounding myself with cool people like that who like can dance or whatever is just immaculate to me, to be honest. And he actually taught me a couple things like when dancing and stuff, and brought out like some cool like moves that I can do on TikTok and this and that, taught me slow-mo. So, right now I don't really want to talk about that.
You're leaving us with that. You're saying do with that information what you will.
Oh yeah, he's cool. It's cool, yeah.
And do you have any other plans for any other projects aside from music that you hope to maybe dabble in within this next year?
I'm always looking into things like to pursue my career because I'm an entrepreneur, so I like to do more than one thing. But in my business, it's really hard to do all these different things until you conquer one. So right now I'm trying to focus on being an artist, being, the most successful artist that I can be, because I want to be an icon one day and be remembered as that, and, a positive one too, and change kids' mindsets to do whatever they want to do. But as of right now, I'm just focusing on being an artist. But in the future, there's talks of I already started thinking about and developing makeup, hair, cosmetics, things like that. It's gonna
Love
come,
it.
Not right now.
We'll wait for it, but I think it's gonna be iconic and wonderful, anything that you do. We always love to end our interview with 3 fun questions, so I've got some picked out for you. I'll go ahead and roll right into those. Who is your favorite TikTok creator?
My favorite TikTok creator? Yeah. Look, there's this one dude I came across of maybe like a week or 2 ago. I don't know his handle, but he's just this funny dude. I think it's called Drip 2 Times is his on TikTok, but that dude's funny.
I'll have to check him out. Yeah. Who is your style icon? Who do you take inspiration from for your totally cool looks? You have iconic fashion. Who's the inspiration?
I really don't have one specific person. I kind of just take, little bits and pieces from a lot of people and then kind of like merge into what I know feels comfortable for me, but there's not really one specific person.
Got it. Well, I think that it all comes together to make this like really cool style. I think that your looks are always So cool. You always look so good. So I had to ask if there was someone that I should be emulating also, because I'm like, okay, how do I look this cool? How do I look like this? But my last question for you, who was your childhood celebrity crush?
My childhood celebrity crush. Ooh, that's a good one. I think it may have been probably someone like Chris Brown. It would definitely be Chris Brown, I think.
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Got it. For those of you who are tuning in, you can stream Disposable on YouTube, Apple Music, pretty much everywhere where music is available, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, awesome. And thank you so much for joining me today for this interview and talking about your latest single, Disposable.
Thank you so much for having me.